one first. Let's start with ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences, based off of a landmark study done back in the early 90s, and 10 adverse childhood experiences were identified. That doesn't mean that there's only 10 traumas that harm us and affect our long-term health, physically and mental health, but these are the 10 that we identified that have a strong correlation to hundreds of health conditions for children and adults, as well as conditions that affect our livelihoods, like our employment. They impact our education, impact how our socioeconomic status, all of these things. So what those 10 adverse childhood experiences are that are identified, they are five of them live in the personal realm. That means in my body. Was I sexually abused, physically abused, emotionally abused? Or did I experience physical neglect or emotional neglect? One, emotional neglect is I don't feel like anybody even knows that I exist. They didn't take care of me emotionally, like you were an it. And the physical neglect is not having enough food, water, shelter, care to survive really as a person under the age of 18. This is the key. I keep reading this thing about 18. Now, the other 5 ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, live in the environmental realm or the familial realm. So there are things like, was a parent addicted to substance or alcohol? Was there physical abuse, domestic violence in the family? Did a child lose a parent to death, divorce, or just abandonment? Was somebody in the family suffering from a mental illness? That's another one. Did a family member become imprisoned in their childhood? Remember, this is the key. From birth to 18 is where we come up with our adverse childhood experience, quote unquote, team. So if you hear people say things like adverse childhood experiences increase with age in women over 40, well, only way an adverse childhood experience score can increase with age isn't because of a new adverse childhood experience. It might be because of reporting that experience, because sometimes people don't feel comfortable reporting as a child, aren't necessarily aware that it's a trauma as a child, and then report later on. And so this idea that adverse childhood experiences go up with age is just flat wrong. So I want you to understand, adverse childhood is the key. Experiences affect our mental health and our physical health significantly across the lifespan, meaning that we can have lots of health conditions as we have 2, 3, 4 or more adverse childhood experiences. The other thing I want to throw in there because people use the word resilience all the time as if it's something that we acquire in adulthood. But again, resiliency is built in the first 3 years of life. I am a subject matter expert in this area. I contributed to a unique piece of research on resilience to the world as part of my dissertation. And so I'm very, very familiar with the literature and the research on how resilience is built, sustained, and what the benefits are of it across our lifespan. And they counteract the adversity and the adverse consequences of childhood trauma. So they also sort of the same as an adverse childhood experience, something that happens after the age of 18. That's what I want you to know. Really important information to know about ACEs are that they occur in childhood, and then they impact your life and health, physical health and mental health across the lifespan. Post-traumatic stress also impacts people's lives. That's a different episode. All right, with that, take care and leave a life.